Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of WOTV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program.
Ọ̀rọ̀ balẹ̀ kan balẹ̀ ṣé mọ̀ pé yóò kàn jẹ́jẹ́ mo jókòó mi ilé ẹjọ́ ńlá wà lónìí gẹ́gẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tí mo wí pé bọ́rọ̀ bá kọ òkè tó bá kanlẹ̀ àwọn àgbàlẹ̀ Yorùbá wọn níbì kan náà là máa fìdí ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún lé ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti déwájú adájọ́ nílé ẹjọ́ tó Ọlọ́run bá nìkan ló mọ ibi tí igi ẹ̀ tó máa forí sọlẹ̀ sí ilé ẹjọ́ ńlá wà lónìí o lórí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń tẹ̀ síwájú àmọ́ kí n má bòpò lọlé olóró ọ̀rọ̀ ti dé ojú ọ̀gbagadè báyìí ẹ jẹ́ a jọ lọ ká lọ sí yàrá àpẹ̀jọ́ níbi tí ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún tó ti fẹ́ wáyé ká lọ gbọ́ kí lẹni afẹ̀sùnkàn kí ló ní láti sọ kí lẹni tó gbẹ́jọ́ wá gangan.
Mazi, good morning.
How are you?
Fine, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you doing?
Not very well. There's a lot of insecurity back home.
Okay, but health-wise, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
You're faring well?
Surviving.
Okay.
Not faring well, just surviving.
So, a quick question. The last time we were in court, you talked about out-of-court settlement. You wouldn't mind. So, has there been any progress towards that regards in terms of talking to the agent?
My lawyers have been about to actually tell you that.
But you've been able to meet with them after that particular day?
Have you dealt with this very issue?
No.
Which one?
It has to be after court. We can talk about that.
Okay.
We're here for the judicial
what I was
proceedings.
asking is, did they come to visit you after the proceedings the last day?
Absolutely. We're here for the judicial proceedings.
Yes. We're here for the...
We can address the other one.
We'll deal with that later.
And we have written a letter to them now. They have not replied.
Okay, no problem.
They have not responded.
Yes, they have not responded. I met with Attorney General.
And mind you, the political solution was a solution actually suggested by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the judgment. And most of you journalists should take time to go through some of these judgments and then come to your own conclusions. Yes. Go through all the rulings and the judgments. You know we have no case to answer at all.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're sticking to the plan.
On the lower court. So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
And then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is in favor of him.
This cherry picking of what was contained in the Supreme Court judgment is what I'm against.
Yes, that's correct.
It should be implemented holistically.
Yes.
I'm not against facing any trial.
Judgment.
After I'm innocent, they have not been against me. But there cannot be any trial when key sections of the Constitution and a key Supreme Court judgment has been violated by a court of law.
So you'll be patient for the case to go back and come back to the court?
This is my 4th year in solitary confinement in detention. The 5th year will not kill me.
Sorry, what if the case is also reassigned back to her? Will you still be comfortable?
It's not going on.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all.
Thank you very much.
These are the things that the public must understand. Most of you journalists, the legal correspondents, you don't take time to actually study some of these rulings and judgments. Go and study. In fact, I'll give you...
Bring that envelope. Bring the envelope.
Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it.
I'll give it to her because I think she's a bit more...
Give her the Supreme Court judgment.
Can you hold this for me?
She can...
I want to let the whole world understand something. Very, very clear. In all this is judgment of the Supreme Court. It made it very clear that even that the impartiality of the judge is questionable. And is here Where is the, please do bear with me. It says it here.
I like
what is it. Page? What is that again?
13.
Where it says
page 18.
all these things are online. Yeah. Is it not page 18? All these things are online. So I suggest that the journalists in this country actually take out time to do some basic research. It's not difficult, just minor research. You will understand the virtuousness, the emptiness of all the charges against me.
Okay.
They kept switching the charges. They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it?
Yes.
I made a broadcast in England.
Yes.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London, in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah, based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
in violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where all these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
Because
Oh, sorry, my love. Sorry. Don't block me. Don't block me. Don't block me.
Careful with what this guy is asking. My lawyer is going to be simple. Lawyers, right? Which one?
It has to be. It has to be after court.
Which one? Which one?
We're here for the judicial process.
The political solution now. We are waiting for federal government.
We're here for the judicial proceedings. We're here for the
and we have written a letter to them now. They have not replied. Oh, they have not responded. Yes, they have not responded. I made to start on again at so what are we having? No. And most of you journalists take time to go through some of these documents and then come to the ruling. Look at the ruling from the document. You know what? Ma, I gonna want federal government in it. Not for certain, so that it will not be as if we are not doing
I don't understand. Yes.
Sir?
Maxwell.
Back again on Nnamdi Kanu court proceeding in the High Court in Abuja. Nnamdi Kanu remains the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu remains, so that we are not going to get some misunderstanding from some people. I know some of you don't even understand what is going on. That is the reason why I'm here today, to also add my voice. Of course, we know what it is. Of course, we know that Nnamdi Kanu is not fighting for one Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for the freedom of his own people. That is why his case is very, very high-profile one. Some of you don't even understand that Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged. That is why we are saying that Binta Nyako, we don't want you to bring the rascality of Nigerian judicial into Nnamdi Kanu court case. We don't want to hear. We want Nnamdi Kanu freedom, because as it stands today, the Court of Appeal have discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu. And like I always said to our people, because some of our people don't even understand the genesis of all this problem. There is some people, I welcome you, Shina Sapoling, Don Felix, Otu Badi, you are welcome. Let me also try to Aka Dinante, you are welcome. Let me also make sure that I go to other platform to be able to call people's name. Very, very important, very, very gingering. We are going to connect the dots, and I'm going to also show the video of Nnamdi Kanu direct in the court. Let me bring also one of the picture of Nnamdi Kanu, because as it stands now, Nnamdi Kanu is already in the court, and I'm also going to bring his video in the court, because this is one of the picture of Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, already in the court as it stands now, and I have the video, and I'm also going to play the video. Let me also go to the other platform and see and be able to mention people's name. Remember that the wife of Nnamdi Kanu, was yesterday on Radio Biafra, and we also transmitted it on Biafran television. You know, a wife that really loved the husband. Let me, what is going on here? I have to go back here and be able to mention people's name. And I'm going to also, a very quick one, I'm going to also open my line so that I'm going to also hear the voice of our people. What do you think? And, you know, the voice of people is the voice of the spirit. What we are saying, that we want Nnamdi Kanu to be free. I'm having somebody like here, engineer Izuchukwu, you are here. Ike Chukwobi, you are here. Austin Ibe, you are here. Shinyere, you are here. This is the people that I'm seeing here right now. And as far as you write your name, of course, I'm going, Jude, you are here. If you write your name, I'm going to call you. Very, very important and very, very gingering. Nnamdi Kanu, like I said, is court proceeding. Remember this. Never you forget this, because in Court of Appeal is where we stand. Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged and acquitted. And I will, Shibu Isi, you are welcome. What we don't understand that is going on today is that because of those that have taken over the case of Nnamdi Kanu in the person of our lawyer Ejimako, and I will keep on saying this because some of you don't even understand the root of our problem, and I keep on saying this to every one of you. If you don't know the root of your problem, there is no how you can ever solve it. You can never solve your problem. You must go to the root and begin to tackle it. You know, Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged by Barrister Fanyi Jofo and San Osekome by the Court of Appeal. And what Court of Appeal stated, that they should not bring this man back again in the court. That is what the judgment said. Don't lay any allegation. Remember, let me bring the genesis. Remember that in the first court of Binta Nyako, you know, they were before in the court of Binta Nyako. And they were putting 15 count charges on Nnamdi Kanu. They be able to trash it on the Binta Nyako's court. I mean, 7 count charges. They trash it. It remained 8. They trash 8. It remained 7, or if I'm not mistaken, between that. And Binta Nyako cannot withstand. and he cannot, because they were pushing Bintanyaku. Remember that Bintanyaku family member, which is the husband and the son, they have issue going on in that contraption, and they were pushing Bintanyaku to bring her rascality to be able to nail Mazen Nnamdi Kanu so that the family can be free. That is why that's the reason why I'm calling for Bintanyaku not to bring that, idea or that way of thinking of African people or Nigeria in question, that he should go straight to the point and be able to understand. Annie, you're welcome. So what is happening now is that after they trashed that 7-count charges, Bintanyaku cannot be able to carry the case because the case is above him, and she cannot even know what to say because there is a lot of voices coming here and there. They have to push the case now to appeal court because it's bigger than Bintanyaku court. Now, when they get to appeal court, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and senior advocate, which is San Osekome, be able to withstand and bring the proof beyond reasonable doubt that this man committed no crime and this man have to be released and discharged. And at the end, they secure everything. Of course, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not released instant because of the behavior, because of Nigeria don't have what they call rules of law. They don't have it. So they have to keep Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Like I said, remember this, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for restoration of a nation, not fighting for one Nigeria. That is something that is different. So whenever you people are trying to use Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to compare other people that have been fighting alongside with Nigeria, they are different people. If Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is fighting alongside with Nigeria, believe you me, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be free today, even though given position. But we know that this man have come to save his own people, to be able to give that belongings to his own people, so that we can be able to govern ourselves and be able to bring humanity to our life. Because as it stands today in that contraption, there is nothing like humanity. No, let me proceed on the background of what is going on and what we are going to hear today in the Court of Appeal. So when they get to appeal court, according to the judge, he announced publicly that they should not bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu again back to court, and the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged. Now, what is going on now? After Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged, that is why we still keep on holding on appeal court we stand. And I want you people to keep on writing, Nigeria, obey your court order. Nigeria, obey your court. My submission today is for Nigeria to obey their court order, because we know that they have to obey the court first. But now, how we get to this mess that we are now? How did we get here now? For Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now facing trial, how did we get here? Now pay attention and listen very attentively. Now it come on issue of so-called the siblings of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the in-law of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They were shouting, calling Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and San Osakome, the advocate, saying that they have already received money. Remember, these people have already discharged Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Like I said, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu court or Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case is a very high-profile one. That is something people don't even understand. You think that it's Homunna. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu case, the hand that is holding Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is beyond what you can see, physical. I tell you this, take it to bank, it can never bounce, because we know and we understand what movement is all about. Now, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was not released, what we have to stand on is appeal court we stand. Now begin to push. Now begin to write letter to people that we're supposed to write letter to. Now begin to push our representatives in Biafra land or Igbo land in general to add their voice, because this man had been discharged. But what happened in that case? The siblings of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which the one that knew that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was in Kenya, was in the hands of enemy for 8 days. Like I said, the leadership has no idea. You see what I'm saying? I know that it's going to be, it will take you a long time to understand what I'm saying. And it's something that is not, if you are not, let me use that word, let me borrow that word from Christianity. If you are not in spirit, you can't understand that this, you can never believe it, or except you are in the spirit. But let me tell you something, there is nothing like spirit. Just ability to reason. That is when you understand that these people are saying the truth. Now are you getting my point? Now, so the guy traveled all the way from Germany to Kenya to even though to visit those that are holding the mass. And we have the proof. Also, and there is a problem that is also going on today in Germany. We are going to confront every rascality of these siblings of Mazen, regardless who they may be or who it may concern. Now, pay attention, because I don't want to, deviate at all, but I just want to digress so that you will understand. Remember, I am not scripted. Remember, there's no paper in front of me. I'm just telling you reality, what have happened in the past, and that is how we will begin to connect the dots. Like I said to you from the beginning of this video, if you don't know the root of your problem, believe you me, you can never solve the problem. Go to the root of the problem and begin to tackle it. Who is calling me? Who is calling me from Russia? Who is calling me from Russia? Let me pick this phone and see. Yes? Hello, who is calling me from Russia? Yes, Maz, yes. You want to contribute? Yeah, you want to contribute? Do you want to contribute? You know Abuja now. You know Abuja. Okay. Mbakanti, una idea here na go around there. Na ke na gana around Anambra. I want you to give us the voice before I will continue. Mbagwa ihe na eme na Anambra na how our people are feeling. Occur to on one in the phone. I think I will. Are you calling me through WhatsApp or is calling me direct line? Or maybe he's going to call back. As you are listening to me, because I know that you are listening to me, and later you are going to call and tell us what is happening in Anambra today, how our people are in solidarity with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Because as it stands today, like I said, I have to digress so that you understand where I'm going. As it stands today, nobody is going to Abuja in solidarity with our leader because they have already bastardized everything. Let me continue where I stopped before I received this call from one of our brother in Biafra land, because he wants to contribute and tell us what is going on today in Anambra State, Biafra land. Now, Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged in appeal court, and the so-called brother of Nnamdi Kanu, Ezebiro, said because they were thinking that as they just freed Nnamdi Kanu or discharge him, they have to leave him straight away. Yes, in a sense, in a right sense of it, if it's a country that is working, that is exactly what they're supposed to do. Before they will bring any case on Mazen, they have to free him first, and now go and bring him back, or now begin to write a petition against him. But in the case of Nigeria, things never work that way. Things work upside down. That is why they can't even wait. So they have to hold him. Because of the lies and deceit, they were deceiving the lawyer Jimako in question, telling him that they are not going to free Nnamdi Kanu except Sam Osekome is out of the way, except Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor is out of the way. That is how we are going to give Nnamdi Kanu bail. And they promised them, in a sense, that yes, they are going to release him. Remember what what they call him, the in-law of Nnamdi Kanu said. He said, we want Aloy Ejimako to shine. Remember that Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor is the one that released Nnamdi Kanu. Freed him, be able to secure his bail in 2015/2017, right? And a lot of people were saying, remember that Nnamdi Kanu came out and said that Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor is the one of the senior lawyer in that contraption that be able to secure his release. Nnamdi Kanu talk about the Shite leader, which is Zazaki, and who is taking his case was Falana. He said that even Falana couldn't even release a senior, because Falana is a senior advocate. He could not even release the man. The man is still in a prison. Why Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, that is not senior advocate, release him? Nnamdi Kanu was amazed. We are all amazed, because Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor is a man that have not been a senior advocate. He's not a senior advocate, but he be able to release one of the highest profiled case in Nigeria, which is Nnamdi Kanu. Remember, he's fighting for freedom. Remember, he's fighting for his... Remember, he's fighting for the nation of Biafra to be restored. I mean, we have already actualized Biafra, but we want to restore it back. Now, you understand what I'm saying? So, let me continue, and I hope you people are understanding. I think I'm going more faster, but the reason why I'm going more faster because I want to be able to do this quick and open my line so that people can also call, because your voice is the voice of Chukwuokike Abiama. The more we call, the world are listening, and they are going to listen to the quest of our self-determination to release Nnamdi Kanu, to free him, because he never committed any crime known to the Nigerian law. Nnamdi Kanu never committed any crime known to Nigerian law. I know some of them will be out there yapping, saying what they don't even know. We are talking about the law. The law have spoken. The law have said. They have already signed it and sealed that Nnamdi Kanu is a free man. Why are you holding him? Why they are holding him? Because the one they call the law, what they call it, in-law of Nnamdi Kanu, said that he want Aloy Ejimako to shine. You want Aloy Ejimako to shine. How did Aloy Ejimako become one of the legal team or one? I'm not coming here to castigate him. You know, some of you don't even understand what I mean when I said connecting the dots. If I don't tell you the root of the problem, how will you understand it? But some of you may come out and begin to say that I'm what I call it, I'm doing saga. This is not a saga. We must talk about the past, so that we can be able to move forward in the future. If you don't talk about the past, or God, forget about the future. It can never work. That is why we keep on telling them. You see Nigerian people, they will tell you diversity is our strength. I tell them, are you mad? You never talk about those that you have massacred, those that you killed, those that you unalived during 1967 to 1997, and you tell us to move forward. Who does that? Who does that? Now, as Nnamdi Kanu have been discharged, instead of them to free him, they did not. Now Aloy Ejimako want to shine. After Bintan Yaku was promising them because of the lies, deceit, because they want these people out of the way, and they succeeded. Let me tell you something you have to know. They succeeded by removing those people. And remember when Nnamdi Kanu come to court before these people were sidelined, which is according to the wife of our leader, he said that Nnamdi Kanu said that they should stand by. Okay, let us take it that way. But I don't think that these people, if you call them back, they are going to come back. Remember that Nigeria have already recruited more sons into this case. And we don't even have any son. What we have is a cock-and-bull lawyer called Aloy Ejimako that never won any case in that contraption. Only the case that Aloy Ejimako is winning is only 1 billion, 20 billion, 500 billion, that nobody can ever give him the money. Okay. Where Nigeria will find that money they are going to pay Mazina. We are talking about for the man to come out free. We don't need this money. Let the man come out. Aloy Ejimako is there talking about money. We won in Abia State, we won in Kafanchan, we won this. They are going to give Nnamdi 500 million. So you yourself, you believe that Nigeria will count that money and give Nnamdi? Is it what you're thinking? Is it what you're thinking? Even though if the international community, they won't pay nothing, they won't pay. They never pay salary. Talk less of paying somebody they believe that is coming to bastardize or to seize their country to exist, and you are telling me they are going to pay him. That is exactly what Aloy Ejimako is doing. Now, they say that Nnamdi Kanu will face trial. The first time we heard that was from Nnamdi Kanu's sibling, Kone Zebiro. The second one from Aloy Ejimako, that Nnamdi Kanu must face trial. We ask Aloy Ejimako which trial that Nnamdi Kanu is going to face. That is what the mess that we are into today. That is why you see Nnamdi Kanu still coming to court today, because they go and make appeal that Nnamdi Kanu must face trial. Are you now understanding how this Nnamdi Kanu, they're supposed to leave him where he is. We are going to be doing what we are going to be doing to make sure that we free him. We are going to be, make sure we do our best to put people that are holding him to release him. And if we standing on that appeal court, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not going to suffer today in the court again. He will never come again. But because these people said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must face trial, now Bintanyaku told them, go and make appeal. And as you are saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is going to face trial, make appeal of what they call it, bail. Make appeal of bail. I, Bintanyaku, will give you bail. I will give you bail. Are you now seeing what is playing? Now they went to go and make appeal, thinking that Bintanyaku will give them bail. Remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to that court after Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Sano Sekome was no more there? They pushed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a whole Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to go and shake his enemy, which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was pushed. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also came to court and was telling them, I was disappointed in you people. I am disappointed. I am disappointed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is acting based on information getting to him. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is inside the cage. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS dungeon. I know when I'm calling cage, some of you that be able to understand, we know what I mean by cage. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no access to do whatever he wants to do. That means that somebody is in the cage. Somebody is somewhere that he can, not that he cannot move around, but he don't have access to communicate with the people that he feel like that can give him what is really going on. That is why they put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu inside DSS dungeon. That is why they were fighting. Remember when Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor were pushing. After Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been discharged, acquitted, they said they are not going to release him. He said, okay, we know, but now please transfer this man to prison. We know the reason why we were shouting, transfer him to prison. Prison is a place you have some access to people. People are coming inside prison and the people are also being released. You can have a communication with some people that they are about to finish their case. They are about to free them. You can send those people message, go outside, deliver this message for me. You have a lot of message with people. You can communicate with people. They have people that are visiting people there. You may give information. Please help me to ask my people outside what is going on. As far as their people is coming back again to visit them, they will give them what exactly is going on. They will direct it to the person that they have to direct it. But because of the game, or because of Aloy Ejimako thought that Bintanyaku is going to give him a bail, to now equate himself in a level of Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, why he was doing what he's doing. Now he will come out again and begin to say, I thought that you people said Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor freed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or be able to secure bail of man. I have done the same thing. But he don't know that he is putting himself in a because where we are today, I tell you, we are stagnant. I don't even know. Nobody is in solidarity in Abuja with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All those people that you see that are going to Abuja are singing holy, holy. Even though at least Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will hear that voice, it will give him more life. Nobody is there anymore. Because our Lord Ejimako have bastardized and destroyed the plans and what we have built. Now you are still seeing it. Mazi Nnamdi and I have left him alone. Our Lord Ejimako is it there? We are going to see. So that is the story. You may call it a story, but we are calling it reality. This is exactly what happened. It's not a propaganda. Take it to bank. Ask anybody that you can ask. They will tell you that everything that I just said here, there is nothing but the truth. Aloy Ejimako now, they did not give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bail. Aloy Ejimako now turn around and you remember what Mazi Shinasanworu said. Most of his broadcasts. Unu na-aga emit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Marana ihe unu na-agba this man. Marana camera dey everywhere. Marana Nigeria. Nigeria as it stands today, Nigeria is a sovereignty in the eyes of those that are beneficiary of Nigerian resources. Nigeria is a sovereignty. Let us put it the way you are going to understand it. Yes, things are not working there. Yes, it's a corrupt place. Yes, people are unalive on daily basis. Yes, Nigeria can never work, but let us say the fact Nigeria is still a sovereign nation as it stands today. Being recognized in all over the world. That does not mean we are not going to cease Nigeria to exist. That does not mean we are not going to balkanize it. That does not mean we are not going to disintegrate. We are going, just think about the sovereign union. They were disintegrated. So that does not mean, but as it stands today, we have to always tell ourselves the truth. Except you don't have what it takes, or inability to think or to reason. I know most of our people don't even think at all, but it's okay. We are here to think for you. According to Iberima in Finland, he says he's here to think for you. That is what Iberima is telling you people. He's here to think for you. And you never ask yourself, a buffoon in Finland, living in Finland, has nothing to offer. A non-entity that his father is from Fulani. I tell you, my next program is, somebody should come and tell me where that Simon Ekpa is from. Proof. Proof. Now, after they promised Nnamdi Kanu, remember that when Nnamdi Kanu came to court, Sarah, you are welcome. When Nnamdi Kanu came to the court, that time that these people have left, Nnamdi Kanu was smiling, thinking that the promise or the lies, the deceit and Lawyer Mako was feeding him is true. When Nnamdi Kanu came to court that first time, the words that is coming out from Bintanyaku, being a learned person, Nnamdi Kanu is well educated and very, very high profile learned person. He understands that all this thing was a deceit. You know, when Bintanyaku was talking, Nnamdi Kanu begin to understand, what is this? This is not what you people told me. That is why the second one, Nnamdi Kanu said it clear in the front of the court. Everybody was there present. I am disappointed in you, Aloy Ejimako. I am disappointed in you. Because you chased those people that secured my release. Now, I want to, so that is why where we are, that is why we are where we are today, because of the damage of Aloy Ejimako and the siblings, so-called siblings. And the one Anakbo master prophet in our coin, Trana Kogeri. On our Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Johnny and all Kanuma. All this thing being a day, you have your own wife. Somebody will have his own wife. Now you come and begin to tell person how he's going to love the husband, but you are there. You haven't performed anything. Won't be here perform. They must bring our money. If you people go to court, you people no go to court, we are going to go to court on our money. And our case is in the court. Our case is in the court. Our money with the Madam Finance is in the court. And nobody, I said it, nobody can ever stop it. We must see the head. Regardless who you are, regardless who is involved, with the lies and deceit that you people are lying out there, the case must continue. We must continue the case. So the case of our money. They should tell Madam Finance to come and tell us how much money, worldwide money, a nation money, our case is in the court. The case is in the court. And nobody can ever tell our people to stop that case. We must continue, regardless who you are. And my bono kebezio. The money that I am part of those that contributed. And I buy and see me share. Say, I want the other forget. Let me stop it here. Let me show you the video of Nnamdi Kanu in the court. And then if I have people, some people in Abuja. And at the same time, I'm also going to check some update if we have update. This is the video of Nnamdi Kanu in the court today.
Mazi, good morning.
How are you?
Fine, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you doing?
Not very well. There's a lot of insecurity back home.
Okay, but health-wise, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
You're faring well?
Surviving.
Okay.
Not faring well, just surviving.
So, a quick question. The last time we were in court, you talked about out-of-court settlement, you wouldn't mind. So has that made any progress towards that regard in terms of talking to the agent?
My lawyers will be in a better position to actually tell you that.
But you've been able to meet with them after that particular day?
Have you dealt with this very issue?
No.
Which one?
It has to be after court. We can talk about that.
Okay.
We're here for the judicial
what I was
proceedings.
asking is, do they come to visit you after the proceedings the last day?
Absolutely. We're here for the judicial proceedings.
Yes. We're here for the...
We can address the other one.
We'll deal with that later.
And we have written a letter to them that they have not replied.
Okay, no problem.
They have not responded.
Yes, they have not responded. I met with Attorney General.
And mind you, the political solution was a solution actually suggested by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the judgment. And most of you journalists should take time to go through some of these judgments and then come to your own conclusions. Yes. Go through all the rulings and the judgments. You know we have no case to answer at all.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're sticking to the plan.
So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
And then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is in favor of him.
This cherry picking of what was contained in the Supreme Court judgment is what I'm against.
Yes, that's correct.
It should be implemented holistically.
Yes.
I'm not against facing any trial.
Judgment.
After all, I'm innocent, so they have nothing against me. But there cannot be any trial when key sections of the Constitution and a key Supreme Court judgment has been violated by a court of law.
So you'll be patient for the case to go back and come back to the court?
This is my 4th year in solitary confinement in detention. The 5th year will not kill me.
Sorry, what if the case is also reassigned back to her? Will you still be comfortable?
It's not going on.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all.
Thank you very much.
These are the things that the public must understand. Most of you journalists, the legal correspondents, you don't take time to actually study some of these rulings and judgments. Go and study. In fact, I'll give you...
Bring that envelope. Bring the envelope.
Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it.
I'll give it to her because I think she's a bit more...
Give her the Supreme Court judgment. I'll replace a copy
Can you
for
hold
you.
this for me?
She can...
I want to let the whole world understand something. Very, very clear. In all this is judgment of the Supreme Court. It made it very clear that even that the impartiality of the judge is questionable.
Suspect.
And is here. Where is it? Please do bear with me. It says it here.
I like
what is
it.
it, page? What is that again?
13.
Where it says
page 18.
all these things are online. Is it not page 18? All these things are online. So I suggest that the journalists in this country actually take out time to do some basic research. It's not difficult, just minor research. You will understand the vacuousness, the emptiness of all the charges against me. They kept switching the charges. They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it?
Yes.
I made a broadcast in England.
Yes.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said. It's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah, based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
in violation of their own laws. Violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
Because Nigeria...
I gonna want federal government in it. Not for certain, so that it will not be as if we are not doing
I don't understand.
That you can be able to understand, but some of you don't even know. Are you understanding? Political solution. Federal government never talk about it. And I was saying about this thing last time. Some of you think that I'm lying. They push them. They push them. Everything they are doing is just, they will push them, go and do this, I will do this for you. And you know that Aloy Ejimako now is like a mugu. That's why you see the first time they will come to you with a small money that you can be able to pay. That is how this mugu always come. They will bill you 2,000 euro, the one you can be able to pay. Now, when you commit yourself, just commit yourself. At the end, they get a loan. At the end. That is exactly what they did to Aloy Ejimako. They commit him, and he accepts. Being somebody that have already accepted, they will keep on using him. Let us continue and see that political solution is not working.
And we have written a letter to them that they have not replied.
They never reply.
Yes, they have not responded. I messaged the Attorney General.
Okay. Is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu happy? No. Aloy Ejimako na agwe ya ekuzi na. Ogwo na afugi.
So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
At the resumed hearing in the trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday, Justice Binta Nyako said she was going to recuse herself from the trial. Recuse, as defined by the law.com dictionary, means to refuse to be a judge or for a judge to agree to a request by one of the parties to step aside in a lawsuit or appeal because of a conflict of interest or other good reasons, acquaintanceship with one of the parties, for example. It also applies to a judge or prosecutor being removed. Nyako's response to recuse herself from the trial followed Kanu's request in the open court that the trial judge recuse herself from his trial since she has refused to obey the orders of the Supreme Court. Kanu is being prosecuted by the federal government on a 7-count bordering on terrorism. Kanu stated that he had lost confidence in the court and that the trial judge should recuse herself from his trial. Meanwhile, Justice Nyako replied that she would be happy to do just that. She added that she would be sending Kanu's case file back to the chief judge for it to be reassigned. Meanwhile, Kanu ordered his counsel, Aloy Ejimako, to sit down while he was trying to persuade the court to suspend the trial on the basis that his client was denied the opportunity to prepare his defense. Kanu referred to the Supreme Court judgment where alleged bias against the judge was raised. "Sit down, I say, you should sit down," Kanu had yelled at his lawyer. Speaking further, he said, "My lord, I have no confidence in this court anymore, and I ask you to recuse yourself because you did not abide by the decision of the Supreme Court. I can understand it if the DSS refuses to obey a court order, but for this court to refuse to obey an order of the Supreme Court is regrettable. I am asking you to recuse yourself from this case." The prosecution counsel, Adegboyega Awomolo San, however, tried to urge Justice Nyako to proceed with the trial, but she responded that she had been minded to recuse herself from the case. "I hereby recuse myself and remit the case file back to the chief judge," she declared.
So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
And then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is against him.
This cherry.
At the resumed hearing in the trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, at the Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday, Justice Binta Nyako said she was going to recuse herself from the trial. Recuse, as defined by the law.com dictionary, means to refuse to be a judge or for a judge to agree to a request by one of the parties to step aside in a lawsuit or appeal because of a conflict of interest or other good reasons, acquaintanceship with one of the parties, for example. It also applies to a judge or prosecutor being removed. Nyanko's response to recuse herself from the trial followed Kanu's request in the open court that the trial judge recuse herself from his trial since she has refused to obey the orders of the Supreme Court. Kanu is being prosecuted by the federal government on a 7-count bordering on terrorism. Kanu stated that he had lost confidence in the court and that the trial judge should recuse herself from his trial. Meanwhile, Justice Nyako replied that she would be happy to do just that. She added that she would be sending Kanu's case file back to the chief judge for it to be reassigned. Meanwhile, Kanu ordered his counsel, Aloy Ejimako, to sit down while he was trying to persuade the court to suspend the trial on the basis that his client was denied the opportunity to prepare his defense. Kanu referred to the Supreme Court judgment where alleged bias against the judge was raised. "Sit down, I say, you should sit down," Kanu had yelled at his lawyer. Speaking further, he said, "My lord, I have no confidence in this court anymore, and I ask you to recuse yourself because you did not abide by the decision of the Supreme Court. I can understand it if the DSS refuses to obey a court order, but for this court to refuse to obey an order of the Supreme Court is regrettable. I am asking you to recuse yourself from this case." The prosecution counsel, Adegboyega Awomolo San, however, tried to urge Justice Nyako to proceed with the trial, but she responded that she had been minded to recuse herself from the case. "I hereby recuse myself and remit the case file back to the chief judge," she declared.
Story here that we hear, the big story reaching me right now is that a particular judge has hand of Kanu's case, Nnamdi Kanu's trial, over uproar in court and of course no confidence allegation. Okay, let me break it down for you. What I'm trying to say is that a judge has hand of Nnamdi Kanu's trial and has remitted the case file back to the CJ. My hand no day. Please. I want to stay off this particular case. I want to stay off this particular. Okoro here to talk to me first. A Edo election was for the highest bidder. Was there a bidder actually? A, B, C, C, C. What's your thoughts really?
Well, I have heard that line before. I've heard that line before, that the Edo election was up to the highest bidder, considering the fact that
of them
were involved in vote buying. So at that point, you can begin to make sense of the fact that, look, it was up for the highest bidder.
No problem.
Mazi, good morning.
How are you?
Fine, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How are you doing?
I'm not very well. There's a lot of insecurity back home.
Okay, but health-wise, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
You're faring well?
Surviving.
Okay.
Not faring well, just surviving.
So, a quick question. The last time we were in court, you talked about out-of-court settlement, you wouldn't mind. So, has that made any progress towards that regard in terms of talking to the agent?
My lawyers will be in a better position to actually tell you that.
But you've been able to meet with them after that particular day?
Have you dealt with this very issue?
No.
Which one?
It has to be after court. We can talk about that.
Okay.
We're here for the judicial
what I was
proceedings.
asking is, did they come to visit you after the proceedings the last day?
Absolutely. We're here for the judicial proceedings.
Yes. We're here for the...
We can address the other one.
We'll deal with that later.
And we have written a letter to them that they have not replied.
Okay, no problem.
They have not responded.
Yes, they have not responded. I met with Attorney General.
And mind you, the political solution was a solution actually suggested by the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the judgment. And most of you journalists, you take time to go through some of these judgments and then come to your own conclusions.
Yes.
Go through all the rulings and the judgments. You know we have no case to answer at all.
Very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're sticking to plan.
The detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, just today asked Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja, to recuse herself from his trial. Leave me alone, from this whole thing. Kanu spoke, from the dock, the resumed proceeding in the 7-count terrorism charge that the federal government preferred against him. What I'm trying to say here is that Justice Binta Nyako is handing off, or has handed off. If like say Judah, this Bible story, I washed my hand come off for this. I mean, is that the case here, really?
Judah, the question to ask before answering your question is, will it make a difference? Will Binta Nyako recusing herself from Nnamdi Kanu's case, will it make a difference? The CJN will simply appoint another judge to handle the case.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Would simply appoint another judge to handle the case. Ask me to do the bidding of the federal government.
Okay.
To do the bidding of the federal government. So, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
Because what Binta Nyako could have done for the federal government, another judge will simply do it for the federal government. Let's look a little bit. Let's become a little historical about the Nnamdi Kanu case. Nnamdi Kanu was arrested sometime in 2015, right? When he came back from the UK. Am I correct? Was it 2015? But I understand that. I recall that he came back from the UK. He was arrested at the airport and put in detention. The court granted him bail. The bail conditions were perfected. He was let go. Nnamdi he's never been caught with arms. He's never been insightful. I'm not his lawyer. I don't speak for him, but I'm just stating the case as I understand it.
Okay.
At a point, the federal government, through its agencies, through its security agencies, went to Nnamdi's home country in Afara to arrest him, to rearrest him, when he had already been granted bail. They didn't send DSS, they didn't send policemen. The court had not invited him, and he refused to go. He had not violated his bail conditions. The military swooped on him in his home country, and in the process, collateral damage happened. Some of the people behind him, some of the people with him were killed. The young man ran away because he was clearly of his life. He feared for his life. He ran away, went to UK, somehow found himself in Kenya under very curious circumstances. He was renditioned back to Nigeria. Extraordinary rendition, which is against the international law. As we speak today, the Kenyan government has not answered questions as to how Nnamdi Kanu was forcefully kidnapped from their territory. As we speak, the UK government, of which Nnamdi Kanu is a citizen, is not talking about securing the release of their citizen. All these are struggled in political opacity, if you ask me. Now, the federal government took Nnamdi back to court, and then Nnamdi insists, you have granted me bail, I'm a free person, and in the process you try to kill me. I ran away for my dear life, you kidnapped me and brought me back to Nigeria. They slammed 14 count charge against him, took him to court. The court said no, of all these 14 count charges, this young man should be let go, and the court set him free. The federal government appealed the judgment. Rather than dwelling on the 14 count charge, they preferred fresh 7 count charges against him, and that is why Nnamdi is still held in detention today, not in a correctional facility, but in the custody of the DSS. These are the issues, these are the questions that should be answered. And at a point, Nnamdi was like, a lawyer, Jumako, his lawyer, was trying to apply for bail for Nnamdi Kanu. Another lawyer said, no, Nnamdi has been granted bail. You don't apply for another bail. The federal government has clearly stated the bail conditions granted this man. They didn't invite him and he refused to come. They went after him. For what reason? And the young man ran away. They went after him, kidnapped him. As far as Nnamdi Kanu is concerned, he was kidnapped. And if he was kidnapped, I think the federal government should first of all answer questions surrounding the kidnap of Nnamdi Kanu before even talking about the court case in the Supreme Court. And the young man says, dear Bintanyako, you know I love you, but I don't want you to handle this case. I want you to recuse yourself. And the prosecutor, Awolomo, said, no. Nnamdi Kanu has no right to tell you how to recuse. Of course, the judge, being a very sensible person, if you ask me, clearly recused herself.
He was also telling Aloy to sit down.
Yes, because Aloy Ejumako wasn't catching Nnamdi Kanu's drift. Nnamdi is of the opinion that, look, this court does not have jurisdiction to try me because I've been granted bail. So why am I? We should be talking about how I was kidnapped by the federal government. These are the issues in contention.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the issues in contention. So rather than asking for another bail, or rather than say try him, the issue should be, if a court had discharged him, the 14 count charge preferred against him, why did they have to go and reinvent different 7 count charge? Because the 7 of them are clearly not part of the 14. Because if you look at the 14, the court had already asked him to go.
You know, over time, I've always asked, who is holding Nnamdi Kanu? Really?
Nnamdi Kanu.
Very innocent question.
Nnamdi Kanu is Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner. Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner because the courts have said, a court of jurisdiction said, let this young man go. But the federal government is using its powers in the judiciary. Jude, look at the issue. You take me to court, 14 count charges, you prepare all the charges, 14 of them. You take me to court. And court said, oh, we have examined Chukwuma, we have investigated all of these charges. None of them is valid. Let the young man go. You said, oh, sorry. Court, I have fresh 7 count charges again. So why didn't you add all of them together in the first instance?
Okay.
Make it 21. Why did you have to go to the court with 14 first and now later 7 when court had already absolved me of being guilty of the 14 count charge? So that is why I say Nnamdi is a political prisoner. Anyhow you look at it, if you turn it 360 degrees, you still get to the point that Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner, and the only thing that can set him free is to use the political route, to resolve his matter.
Let's take a listen to what actually played out today at the court.
The place where I committed this crime was London, in the United Kingdom. Yes. When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them. about how I'm going to defend myself.
They remove it.
I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me.
They removed that long.
Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yes. Based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the
broadcast. Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196,
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. In violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these many things are going on? It's not possible.
It's a persecution against the Igbo. It's a persecution against the
Igbo. No, let them give them a fresh one, not the ones.
No.
We have many of that.
Mr. Kanu, last one last question. One last question. Reference to what she has asked earlier.
Persecution. Exactly what I wanted to ask you. They say this is just undue persecution, and some other person to tell you, well, there is a reason why they're persecuting this guy. Maybe from where he's from, from the Southeast extraction. That's why, this is done to him. Some will say, no, like you rightly mentioned, he is a political prisoner. Which actually?
Jude, I think it is both. And you have also said it all. If you look at why I say that Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner is if you look at his the history that brought him to where he is today. I also like to tell people that by 2011, 2012, 2013, Nnamdi Kanu was not particularly talking about the Southeast people exiting Nigeria. And Nnamdi Kanu was talking about how do we make this union work? Because, we have our diversity is our strength. We have enormous human and material resources. We have arable land. We have vast coastline, that we can use to, our blue economy should be very, very productive. But by 2015, the equation altered. You know why the equation altered? A certain person became president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. And this is a man that systematically excluded the Southeast from the commanding heights of the nation's economy. In terms of appointment, the man became too nepotistic. He shut out the Southeast from the security architecture. He had about, out of the 9 security agencies, none of them was headed by someone from the Southeast. So if you are now holding a security meeting with the president, what is actually supposed to be the daily presidential briefing as they have it in the United States, all the agencies collect data and give it to the National Security Advisor. It's either they are in presence when the NSA is delivering or the NSA delivers to the president and they make inputs. And if that is the case in Nigeria, no person from the Southeast will be in that meeting. So if peradventure a case is made against the Southeast, nobody will come in defense of the Southeast. Judah, politics is the authoritative allocation of resources, scarce resources for that matter. So if you have to take a decision concerning me, shouldn't I be part of it?
Okay.
That was what happened. It was at that point, after the election, the same president said, for the people that gave me 5% of the votes, you don't expect that you get the same benefits like people that voted for me 97%. He did worse than that. Whatever 97 plus 5 meant, 97 plus 5 is supposed to be 100, is 102, but percentage ends at 100. My primary understanding of mathematics.
Of course.
So, but the man went beyond that brief. Judah, in everything, the Southeast was shortchanged. It was at that point that Nnamdi Kanu started campaigning that, look, if we cannot, he started with the restructuring, that if we cannot restructure this country, then let the Southeasterners go so that they are then manifest destiny, can be explored. They can become what they want to be, because certainly he felt that Nigerians, that there was no level playing field in Nigeria. It was at that point that he started campaigning for secession of the Southeast through the IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra organization, which he heads. So at that point, the federal government started looking for him. He went to London, free man, came back, they arrested him. That is the history. So if you look at that, you will discover that I tried to build this myth to point to the fact that Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted, because we have also had people from other regions of the country. We had Sunday Igboho, who also said that, look, the Southwest should secede. You had people from the North who have been charged with terrorism and all of that. Those people have been let go. So why are you keeping Nnamdi Kanu? Is it because he's an Igbo man? That's the question people are asking. Even people from the North, people from the West, people from the Middle Belt, everyone is asking the same question. Why are you keeping this young man?
Have you heard someone say, well, don't bring in Igbo thing into it? It's purely, an issue that's supposed to be treated, aside the fact that
why was the Mieti Allah case not treated? Was it treated as a Nigerian case? Why was Sunday Igboho's case treated? Was it treated as a Nigerian case? So why should somebody now, if some people are saying that Nnamdi Kanu is being persecuted because he's Igbo, why is it difficult for people to understand that the same thing Nnamdi is doing less than we have Boko Haram people, bandits, Mieti Allah, gun-wielding citizens, non-state actors doing the same thing less than Nnamdi has. Like I said before in my opening comments, the federal government has never told us that they caught Nnamdi with arms. Have they? They haven't. So if you are pardoning people that have clearly killed Nigerians in cold blood, and you are detaining and keeping someone who is just waving a flag because you have cut out all the avenues of peaceful resolution of disagreement, of issues with him, and look, the thing is a natural thing. If you close out this means of peaceful resolution of issues, somehow people will find a way. Like civil disobedience, if civil disobedience doesn't work like Nnamdi started, it will get into the stage of sabotage. From sabotage, they'll start destroying critical national infrastructure. But that has not happened. He's still at the level of campaign, so why are you keeping him? But you have people, like I keep saying, people up north who have killed Nigerians. They are pardoned, declassified, debriefed, and integrated into our national security agencies. So what do you make out of it, if I may ask? If it is political persecution on the part of Nnamdi Kanu. And we see, the thing is about our being politically correct. We can never move forward by trying to be politically correct.
You see that was why I asked you the question I asked earlier. Who then is holding down this man all this while? See, I've heard a whole lot of persons, even when you see that a couple of persons have been here and they've told me, some have said, well, it is his brothers, from the Southeast. There's some persons in the Southeast who wouldn't want Kanu to be released because if he's released, their political journey will automatically terminate, will end. That's one. Two, they've said, it's some cabal, some persons from the North, holding down this man. So some other persons will tell you, well, it is the federal government, that Tinubu has the power to release this man. Then that was why I asked you, who then is holding this guy? You already said some of these who killed and all of these they were released and reintegrated back to society. Why haven't this guy been released? So then, why is he still being held? That's the question.
Jude, it is the state that is holding Nnamdi Kanu, and I think it's a conspiracy of the state. Because if you want to put it down on people from the Southeast, and I'll say, when would they start? Okay, now that Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, their political career, is it thriving? The supposed people that are his Igbo brothers that are holding him down, now that he's in detention, has the problem been resolved? In fact, it is better for them to have Nnamdi Kanu released than keeping him in detention, because the more you keep him, the more his disciples, like Simon Ekpa, for example, is championing the issue. I can't remember if it is on this show that I made the analogy between Israeli Defense Force, and the PLA. At a point, the Israeli Defense Force on several occasions said, look, we have Yasser Arafat on target. We can take him out in the next 5 minutes. And the political aspect of it, the political spectrum of the Israeli establishment said, no. Leave that young man. Leave Yasser Arafat, because the person that will likely take over from Yasser Arafat is deadlier than Yasser himself.
Okay.
I think that is what is happening between Nnamdi and Simon. So if you think that Nnamdi is the lesser of two evils, so why don't you release him and if you think that the insecurity in the southeast is spiking because he's being detained, why don't you work for his release so that the tension there can douse down? These are the permutations. These are the questions that we need to be asking and answering at the same time.
Let's look at it. Let's come back to what happened today, at the court. Justice Binta Nyako, she decided to just opt out of the trial. Following the outburst of Kanu that he had no confidence at all and trust in the judge. I have no confidence and trust in you. Is it enough for a judge to decide to opt out of the case? Should it be enough?
It's more than enough. It's more than enough. This is not the first time it's happening. I mean, because Nnamdi Kanu clearly sees it. If you read a conflict of interest in your case, that particular judge will have ended up.
But you also saw what the federal government lawyer said, Adegboyega, what he did when Kanu said, no, I don't want this case to continue.
Yes, because,
I don't want you to.
Because he's playing a script. He's playing a script. Did you expect him to say anything different? He shouldn't have. Because he already has a brief. He
has argued that the order to open the trial was in line with the Supreme Court judge. Justice Binta Nyako said she would prefer another judge to handle the trial going forward.
Yes, Judy, I think that is the proper thing to do. One, Binta Nyako, for her, to me, if you ask me, to a face-saving measure for her to have simply recused herself from the case. Like I said, if she ends up entertaining the case and passes judgment, if it is against Nnamdi, it will become questionable, because Nnamdi will simply say, I told you we were headed this direction and look at what has happened. So the best thing for him to have done is to recuse herself. Like I said, the CJN will simply appoint another judge to handle the case. It's as simple as that.
I was having a conversation with someone a couple of days ago, just a few days ago, and the person was like, in his words, he said, like, these court cases here and there, like, he said, me if I don't confuse you, because I don't understand what did they happen. Of course, these court cases every day, from one court to another, Kanu keeps talking, every day like that, myriad of court cases.
Gift to the Southeast, Jude.
Okay.
Let's be very clear on this. As a gift to the Southeast, people said, he was going to make political capital out of it. We're going to release Nnamdi. I think we've done 16 months or thereabout. Nnamdi is still in detention. Like I said, it's a conspiracy of the state. Anyhow, if you turn it 360 degrees, you still come to the same point. Truth be told, that is what it is.
If some persons are not scared, don't you believe this guy, should have been released? Some persons in government, if they're not scared of something,
but my
don't you think Kanu would have been released?
In answering the question, I also want to ask, why do the people feel insecure? I mean, this is a very simple thing.
Because the reason why you hold a man this tight and strong,
like I said, is because Nnamdi Kanu and a lot of people from the Southeast started from the premise of, let us restructure this country. And what do they mean by restructuring? Let us create a level playing field for everybody. If you should talk about insecurity, let us do state police. If we were talking about revenue generation, let us do resource control. If we are talking about a governance structure, let us do true federalism. I mean, why should 36 governors go cap in hand every month? They send their commissioner for finance to Abuja. Some of them spend as much as 10 million naira a trip, to go and hold and conduct FAC. to go and collect how much? 10 billion naira and come back next month. It has become a ritual. The money cannot be accounted for. Internally generated revenue cannot be accounted for. Why don't we sit down and discuss how to move this country forward? We did in 1995 under Abacha. God bless his soul. Before it was implemented, he died. By 2025, by 2005, Obasanjo, with the issue, with the pressure, this country is not working. Let us talk. Let's convene a national conference. Obasanjo did. Spent so much money. The result of the conference, the conference papers were put together. It was not implemented. Obasanjo became busy with pursuing a third term and was unable to implement the recommendations of the conference, of the confab. By 2014, Jonathan did another one. And the whole issue is about the governance structure. Should we be talking about true federalism? Should we be talking about presidential system of government? Should we be talking about rotational presidency, as some countries have done? Like I cited the case of Lebanon the other day. As diverse as they are able to rotate this thing, among the 4 major groups in Lebanon. You have the Christians, you have the Maronites, you have the Muslims, and one other group. And once this one is the president, the vice president comes from the other, and it rotates. Rotational presidency. Why can't we have that? That was one of the recommendations of the Abacha confab. Rotational presidency, with even a prime minister that could even rotate. All those recommendations, with the humongous amount of money spent on them, are gathering dust in one cupboard. And we are here. Nigeria is gradually taking a downward slope every other day.
As regards the rotational presidency, I don't know what some persons will call them the owners of this country, the fathers and the grandfathers of this country. They decided it should be that way. But then, once it leaves the south west, it's going back to the north. I hope you understand. I have also asked questions. What about the southeast?
I don't understand. Maybe you can help me make sense of it. Why should it be?
Of course, yes.
Why should it be?
Why? Somebody said, well, if a person like Peter Obi wants to do anything, he should wait till 2030, something. Or he might not even get.
Yeah, that was the dummy they sold to the southeast. They said, when Buhari is done, he's just simply going to hand it over to the southeast. Did that happen? It didn't happen. President Jonathan distributed opportunities, offices, everything equally. He had people in his cabinet who were from, even in his kitchen cabinet, who were from the core north. Did anybody complain? Did anybody say we want to exit Nigeria? Nobody did. Until a certain Muhammad Buhari came. Began sectionalism, nepotism, nepotistic tendencies, and all of those things. That was when our unity became an issue. Our fault lines, our cleavages blew open. Looks like the thing was capped in a bottle with good management by Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, and Jonathan. The man just came and unbottled it. And look at what we have. At this point, we should begin to tell ourselves the honest truth. Nobody wants to leave. The issue of referendum, I have said it before. The moment you say, conduct a referendum and ask whether Southeasterners want to remain in this country, if people vote, and overwhelmingly the people of the Southeast say we want to exit, the country should let them go. And if they say we want to remain in Nigeria, like the Scottish vote in 2014 that said, the Scots voted overwhelmingly to remain in part of the UK. Since then, have you heard any Scot say we want to leave UK? If you conduct a referendum and Igbos, Southeasterners vote to remain part of Nigeria, Jude, IPOB will die a natural death. So, but why is the federal government afraid of conducting referendum? The moment you mention the word referendum, they say, Southeast wants to go. You don't want them to stay. You don't want them to go.
Thank you so much. I want to also review what happened the last time when we had members of the House of Representatives from the Southeast extraction visit the president as regards the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We also have the senators. We had the these, the chiefs and all of these persons. The governors also, visited the president, in a way to plead with him to release Nnamdi Kanu, but then all to no avail. That's why I asked you the same question. Are you sure that there is nothing behind this? Because they say if you want to, Yorubas will say kokoro tinjefo, follow what, like it's when you want to find joy, it's when people come together to do something. But then if you find that there's kind of disruption or something in between, you've discovered that there's disunity. So is it that some of your brothers, some of Nnamdi Kanu's brother are just doing the eye game? What do they call it now? There's one word I want to use now. I've forgotten that word. Is it that they just go there and show to the world that we're in support of Kanu's release, and back and they work against him? Or is there something? Because the federal government cannot just be holding this man for this long without the input of some persons back home. That's what I'm saying.
Jude, you speak like someone who is are you not well versed in Nigerian history? Jude, you should be. No Igbo man wants Nnamdi Kanu in detention. Why would the person? Why? Does Nnamdi want to become governor of Abia State? I mean, does he want to become governor of Imo State? Is he from Anambra State that he wants to become governor of Anambra? Does he want to be a senator representing Anambra Central or where?
No.
Or Ebonyi State? So I'm clearly confused when people say that.
Chukuma, hold on. When you say no Igbo man wants Nnamdi Kanu to be detained,
I mean the average Igbo man.
I think you're wrong.
No, I mean, so what would the person gain by Nnamdi's detention?
I don't know. I think you're wrong. You might say
that is what
most Igbos don't want Nnamdi Kanu to remain in detention.
You know why it's difficult?
But some, some few.
You know why I'm using the word no Igbo man? Because I don't know what the person stands to gain by Nnamdi's continuous detention. Can you tell me? Can you help explain that to me?
It might be political.
How does he want to become governor of Abia State? And if he wants to, is it not a legitimate aspiration of his?
But
become?
If Kanu is released today, some person's political ambition will automatically die in a sense.
Like who? Like who?
No, now let's be factual.
No. Let's be like who?
Some people would not breathe. See, they will just find out that this guy is coming to lead.
Jude,
now they see him as the leader, the supreme leader, who will just come once he's released.
Nnamdi is
everybody bows to him. He said this is the way to go.
No,
everybody follows.
No. Okay. IPOB doesn't speak for the Igbo nation.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, that is what you are implying.
I'm talking about Kanu.
Yes. Kanu is not authorized by agreement to speak for the Igbo nation. That's what I want people to understand. Nnamdi could be acting in the larger interest of the Igbo nation. But it's preposterous to say that he speaks that there's an agreement that he represents or speaks for the Igbo nation. No, these are two different things.
No, you don't get it.
No, you don't understand it, Jude. These are two different things.
No. I'm not bringing in IPOB at all. I'm talking about one single man.
IPOB is the organization that crested him to prominence, to limelight, to spotlight.
I'm not talking about IPOB.
No. If you remove IPOB, Nnamdi becomes just an individual like I am in Igbo land.
I don't think so.
How?
Kanu and IPOB, who is stronger?
Who made Kanu strong?
No, it's not about who made you strong.
No, who made him strong?
No,
how did he crest to power?
The name we hear today is Kanu.
No.
Not IPOB.
It is difficult to divulge.
We know IPOB. We know Kanu as a person.
The moment you hear Nnamdi Kanu's name, what comes to your mind? Judah, what comes to your mind?
IPOB.
Exactly.
But then the name Kanu is what we hear.
Okay.
Some persons don't even want to hear IPOB.
Why?
Because Kanu is the person you arrested, not IPOB.
Okay.
Do you understand my drift now?
Okay.
Fine.
So those people that don't want Kanu out because it's going to affect their political chances, I say who? You said that because it's going to take the shine of them or what? I don't get it. That's what I want to understand.
Okay. You see, in this country, in life,
yes,
there are some things one shouldn't spill out. There are some things we know ourselves. Where am I heading towards? Not everyone will like you. The way you're talking here now, all right? Some persons might not buy your opinion. Several persons are listening to us in Nigeria an outsider in Nigeria and watching us live, some persons might not buy your opinion at all.
They don't have
in fact,
to.
I will get to open up the studio lines.
Yeah.
I will open up the studio lines anytime soon, and you hear people speak. Now, what I'm saying is, see, on this show, I've heard people mention some names in the Southeast that might be against the release of Kanu.
Jude.
That these persons will just go and meet the president and behave as if they want to, is a lie that they know them. Governors in the Southeast. Because see, if the entire how many states in the Southeast, if they come together, if they're actually together, understand me, if these people are actually together and say, see, we want this guy's release, we do everything possible to make sure he's released. We'll go and meet the president.
The president will
go and sort this thing out.
The president
will listen. But then what?
Jude, we had 5 governors of the Southeast. We had the entire 5 states of the Southeast that complained bitterly for 8 years that Buhari was in government and said, President, why did you shut out the Southeast from the security architecture of this country? For 8 years, did he listen? So what makes you think this one will listen? Why didn't he listen to the release of Nnamdi Kanu? Coming together is not the issue. Jude, Nnamdi Kanu is a political prisoner. It's as simple as that. And it's a state decision to continue to keep him in detention for reasons best known to them. I am not sure that Nnamdi is standing in the way of anybody's political ambition. And I ask the question, if Nnamdi wants to become the governor of Abia State he comes from, isn't that a legitimate aspiration? Should someone hold it against him? Nnamdi Kanu cannot aspire to be governor of Anambra State. He doesn't come from Anambra State. He doesn't want to be governor of Enugu State or senator representing Enugu West. He doesn't come from Enugu. So if he's released, how will it be an impediment to someone's political ambition? That is what I'm here to understand. If you tell me that people go to Abuja to kowtow before the president and say, oh, we want this young man released, and then they go back and say, probably they want to be seen, they want to take a populist position. We are speaking, we want our people back home to believe, that we are speaking on behalf of the Igbos and all of that. Like Ohaneze, I will believe you.
Ohaneze also even went ahead wrote a letter to the president.
And so you sit on around to say that it's the Southeasterners that are keeping him there. It is the state that is keeping him.
Wait, I'm not saying the Southeasterners. I said
some. What
some.
Those people?
I don't know the percentage, but I know
what do they stand to gain.
We've had arguments and counter arguments on this.
If you can you mention names? Those people, what do they stand to gain from Nnamdi's continuous detention? Is it that they are benefiting from the insecurity in the Southeast?
It's like you're asking the devil, why are you bad? If you ask me that question,
or you are asked to list. There was this joke out there. You are asked to list the whatever, and they said if you are counting a set and you mention devil or something. I can't recall the analogy.
Okay,
but I'm trying to create the fact that you don't want to mention names, but. Away from mentioning names, Jude, I want you to help me.
Do you know that the Southeast have big names enough? Friends to the president. And of course, they have international friends across the several countries, all right, that can wade in. Your people, the Igbos. I'm not an Igbo.
That can wade in and do
that can wade into this matter from outside the shores of Nigeria, even within, to release this man. If actually.
Julia, you seem to miscontextualize the thing about Nnamdi Kanu's issue and Nigeria. Look, let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you. I have been mentioning the state. I think it is part of the state policy to continuously put the Southeast down. And if they can achieve that using the instrumentality of dividing the Southeast by keeping Nnamdi Kanu or by spiking the insecurity there, you don't need to travel far to get to that point, to get to that understanding, to get to that realization, because clearly that is what is happening. You talk about the president having very close Igbo people as friends or what? The same president that came to Enugu and said, look, if you don't vote for me, you get a soaked slice of bread. Isn't that what we are getting now? For every appointment the president makes, if he has made 10 appointments, you have like 5 or 6 lists that you have no Southeastern. In the humanitarian ministry, the president made 7 direct appointments to 7 directorates. Out of those 7, we have 6 geopolitical zones. No Southeastern was mentioned there. Currently, they have distributed CNG gases from the presidency, and we have 8 pilot states. No state from the southeast is part of it, and you have 3 from the south. You are telling me that we have people that are close to the president.
Okay, look at it.
Is there federal presence in the southeast?
In Ajao, in Lagos, I don't know if you heard that story of the man who said, you remember that man? Is it, what did he call himself? Who said that they would also bring IPOP to Lagos.
That man is still being held.
Okay, now I'm saying, good. You remember that man
is still
right?
being held,
now,
yes.
Why hasn't
Fred Majago?
Exactly.
Ezigbo.
Why Ezigbo? Thank you very much. Why hasn't he been released? I mean, this is something people think. There are some Igbo persons now who are connected enough to at least, bring about the release of this man.
Have you turned the Igbo people into a judiciary?
No. This is Nigeria.
Yes, I'm asking the question.
We know what it is.
Must Igbo people intervene before the writing is done?
Okay, why hasn't he's been kept there for only?
Why was Sunday
how long now?
Why was Sunday Buhari released? Did the Yoruba people intervene?
Oh yes.
Okay, the Southeasterners.
Yes.
Now Southeasterners have intervened. Let them release Nnamdi Kanu. You just said here that Ohaneze has gone to Aso Rock. The Obis and Ezes have gone to Aso Rock to plead. Governors have gone. So why hasn't he been released? If West people intervened and Sunday Igboho was released, and Southeast people have intervened, why isn't Nnamdi Kanu not released? Isn't it the persecution you're talking about? Did anybody intervene before the Mietiala person was released? Probably they did behind closed doors. These are the issues.
Voice of the People 90.3 FM. I'm pushed to open up the studio lines now for everyone to participate. Okay, I want to get your views, your take, your observation, your opinion, your query, your comments, everyone. Okay, this is democracy, and we're talking about our dear beloved country. Okay, but then you will do me a favor. Keep your comments very, very civil. Mind what you say on the national radio. Just about 60 seconds for everyone. And if you want to call me, endeavor to move away from your radio set. Okay? Just move away from your radio set. I will take all of your calls and your messages just right after this. My name is
Lawyers to Nnamdi Kanu. His matter came up today at the Federal High Court, number 3 in Abuja. And we made efforts to make the courts understand that we have filed several appeals about some of the rulings of the courts. One of those appeals borders on the jurisdiction of the courts to go into hearing because we believe that our client Nnamdi Kanu has not been given that opportunity of getting himself ready for a defense. And our reason principally is because of the environment where he is detained. We strongly believe that the DSS facility where he is detained has microphones that listen into our conversations when we are talking with him. We also have issues of presenting possible defense strategy and mechanisms to Nnamdi Kanu while in detention, because their cameras captures virtually everything that goes on whenever we are visiting Nnamdi Kanu. And aside that too, whenever we present or come with documents to show Nnamdi Kanu in preparation for his defense, the DSS force us to surrender those documents to them. They take it into one of their offices. Possibly they make photocopies of them and all sorts of things. So it became difficult actually for us to prepare Nnamdi Kanu for trial. We have brought these issues before the court. The court has refused to appreciate the facts with us. So we decided to file an appeal against the findings of the court with respect to that issue. The matter at the Court of Appeal has not been heard yet, but we have filed all the processes that requires us to be filed. The prosecution has also filed their own processes too. We also have filed an application challenging the revocation of his bail, in line with the judgment of the Supreme Court that said that Nnamdi Kanu's bail ought not be one of the lawyers to Nnamdi Kanu. His matter came up. My lord stood by Nnamdi Kanu and recused herself. So the case file has been minuted back to the chief judge for reassignment for further directive. So that is the situation for now.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Barrister. As we would also want to know, so far we learned that arrangements were made to making sure Nnamdi Kanu's health, was hacking to. So how far have they gone in that effect?
Well, the doctor wrote a letter to the Director General of the DSS a couple of weeks back, requesting that Nnamdi can be brought to his facility for proper medical attention. Unfortunately, they sat on it until the former director was removed and the new Director General has come in. So with the coming in of the new Director General, they invited us yesterday to have a meeting with their doctors and investigators. And at the end of the day, it was agreed that Nnamdi Kanu should be taken to the doctor's place for proper medical evaluation. So hopefully by next week, Wednesday, Thursday or thereabouts, they should be able to take him to the doctors to look at his health. Because health, above all this thing happening around, health matters. It's only somebody who is alive, that can actually stand trial. Yeah. So he needed his health to be top notch so as to be able to stand trial. So the cumulative effect is that by next week, God willing, they are going to take him to the hospital for proper medical attention.
Okay, Barrister, as a representative of Nnamdi Kanu,
yes,
and by extension, the indigenous people of Biafra, what do you have to, to tell them in this very situation?
Well, what I have to tell them is that the battle is still on for the freedom of the people, for the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu. The battle is still on. You see, this battle is not a one-faced battle. You are going to face this battle from all directions, both legally, politically, and or in any other way. So legally speaking, the battle is still on. We just had a brief break now. By God's grace, once the Chief Judge comes back, as I understand he's not on seat, once he's back, he's going to look into the case file and possibly reassign it to another judge for trial. But if he doesn't do that, then he might as well take the case up by himself. He's a judge, and then listen to it, and try. So I am urging all Biafrans, all lovers of freedom, our clients, to please be focused, stand still. In the Bible, they say God said to the people of Israel, stand still and see the hand how my Lord will walk. So let us stand still and see how God will work for us. So by the grace of God, the legal team is focused and determined to pull this through. So we believe that our clients too will be determined and strong and focused to assist us in getting the justice that Nnamdi Kanu and indeed all of us deserve.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
so in essence, the next adjourned date is sine die.
There is no date now.
Okay, all right.
Until the Chief Judge assigns the case, then hearing notice will be served on all parties.
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I can hear you. What's your name and where you calling from? Good afternoon. Okay. Hello, good afternoon to you. And where are you calling from? What's your name? Good afternoon.
Good
afternoon to you.
Right, this is C2 calling from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Welcome, C2. Good to have you join us.
Yes, thank you very much for this wonderful program. And then I salute you and my brother there in the studio. Nnamdi Kanu is a prisoner of conscience. He's been persecuted based on where he came from. We know that. We have made it clear to the international community, and the whole world have understand it. We have to be, we the Igbos, we have to stand by him and make sure that the justice prevail. But let me say something to that, my brother in the studio. You want Nnamdi Kanu released? No, but everybody in Igbo land want Nnamdi Kanu to be released right now. I'm one of them, because Nigeria have taught us a lesson, and we are following and we are correcting the lesson they have taught us. It will never repeat himself again. And we, the Igbos, must make sure that our life is being preserved in Nigeria. No matter how, anyhow, we must make sure that nobody will come to kill us anymore. But my brother, this word I have to say now is for you. Please, you are making a very big mistake by saying that Samaneba is the disciple of Nnamdi Kanu. He is not. Samanapa is nothing but a criminal. We have a dissident in Igbo land. If you want to know what I'm saying to you now, go to Igbo land and ask the politicians. They will give you the atrocity of Samanapa. Right? We have the evidence. I can't come here and tell you what I don't know. And if you want to know it, you have the responsibilities of God. See him as Nnamdi Kanu and say, look at what people are saying about Samanapa. He have sent not one, not two, not three people, which I know, to go and tell Samanapa to tone down whatever he is doing for the benefit of the life of our people. This man will refuse. This one is, this is national television. If you call me, I will defend what I'm telling you.
It's okay.
We have the record of Samanapa kidnapping our Igbo youth, extorting their money, taking their cars and cutting it into pieces and being sold. What I'm telling you now, Hope Uzodinma is listening. He's aware of what I'm telling you. So stop telling our people.
Yes, I have to let you go now. Thank you so very much.
Well, let me talk. Let me before I go. I am trying to let that my brother stop putting.
It's okay, Situ. It's okay. It's okay.
What is his point?
Wait, really, you know, when it comes to Kanu, you already said your people, the whole lot of all of your, the Southeasterners wants the release of this man,
which he acquiesced to, which he agreed.
You can see that from his voice.
You know, okay, he's quarreling with the disciple part of it, like follower,
probably.
But they started out together. That's my point. That's the point I'm making.
They started out together.
Yes. Is Samanapa not a member of IPOB? That is the issue. Their methods might differ, but they started out together. Yes, that's the point I made.
Hold on. Hello, good afternoon to you from here.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for picking my call.
What's your name and where you calling from?
I'm Erasmus. I'm calling from the US.
Okay, welcome, Erasmus.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I quickly called because of the last caller that called. He was making bogus claim about Samanapa, and he said you should go and ask Hope Uzodinma. So he wants you to ask politicians of the antecedent of somebody who is fighting against the politicians. What does that tell you? And brother Okoro, who is sitting in the studio there, he made a big mistake when he's saying that everybody in Igbo land wants Nnamdi Kanu out. No, he is wrong, and he should know it. When Nnamdi Kanu was out, Nnamdi Kanu was telling Hope Uzodinma where he was sleeping. Hope Uzodinma was restless. Wike was restless. So do you think those people who were restless when Nnamdi Kanu was here would be comfortable with Nnamdi Kanu coming out? The truth is this: most of the political elites in Biafra land do not want Nnamdi Kanu to come out. The presenter was right. They do not want him to come out. They are only pretending to be going there, but in essence they are not going. Do you think if all the political wings in South is a whole region really Aso Rock and say we want our brother released to us, you think they will not release Nnamdi Kanu? They are deceiving themselves. We are not stupid. We know what is going on. So you should not be defending anybody and saying everybody. No.
Thank you so much.
Speak for yourself.
Yes, my brother, I appreciate the point you made. You know, you see, my position is this: that Nnamdi Kanu's release is going to affect the political chances of some people. Now, when Nnamdi was a free man and he wasn't in detention, and he was telling Hope Uzodinma where Hope was sleeping, he was telling Wike where Wike was sleeping, he was probably telling other governors where they were sleeping. Did Nnamdi suddenly become the governor of Imo State? Did it change anything? Did it matter that he was a free man and telling them where they were sleeping? I don't get it. That is what I want to understand. The point I'm making is this: if Nnamdi is released, will Nnamdi suddenly become the governor of Abia State if people don't vote for him? He's from Abia. He has a legitimate right to contest to become governor of Abia State. That's my point.
It's all right. Hello, good afternoon to you this afternoon.
Hello, Ekambijide, good afternoon.
Well done. What's your name, your location?
Yeah, this is Mazida calling from Ijegun.
Ijegun.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I greet my brother in the house.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Yeah.
60 seconds quickly.
I always like to come on the house. You always make a point, but I want to claim with one thing. You always complain about Simon Ekpa. I disagree with him on that very point. Because when Mazi was a free man, he is the one who directed us to follow Simon Ekpa because he have another different dimension. So today, and the so-called Nigeria government is against Simon Ekpa, looking a way to bring him down. How can you come up now and say he's working for Nigeria government? I disagree with Shitu. That's why I want to call for the house.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shitu, right? Who called from Sierra Leone? It's all right. Hello. Good afternoon to you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you speak up? What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Pascal Chineze. I'm calling from Ikeja.
All right.
Yeah, I greet your guest in the studio. The matter of Nnamdi Kanu is a very tense matter. And the argument between two of you, there is borders on, is it persecution or prosecution? What is holding Nnamdi Kanu? Is it a matter of law or is it political? That is the angle both of you are arguing. My brother in the studio there is the point to look as if purely our judiciary is independent, that once the matter goes there, they will treat impartially and decide the matter. But that is not what it is. The case of Nnamdi Kanu is purely political, and it is no longer prosecution, it is persecution. Okay. But I want to advise all Igbos calling here. This is a national and international radio. We should be careful about what we say, because it's not everything we are going to say here. All we are asking is they should release Nnamdi Kanu. The Nigerian court has said, let him go. So Nigeria should obey its own law. The truth is that there are people in Igbo land who do not want Nnamdi Kanu to be out. We know that. That is for sure. That is where I want to end my own contribution.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate your call. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon to you. Hello? Are you there? Good afternoon to you. Oh, you're not ready. In real time. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I can hear you. Your name, your location. Let's go.
It's like your guest, Chukuma, is an institution of this Nnamdi Kanu issue. From his analysis, which he has presented before you, not at this very time for me, I didn't get to know the truth too well. But the truth of the matter is this: one or two questions I want to ask. Is these people, one or two people in Igbo land, which you said, are they more important or are they too big than the constitution of the land? One. And now, should the very society of Nigeria, would they honor those people than the constitution that has brought us, under her? Secondly, knowing fully well, he has given you analysis as regards to the restitutional agreement, even in other Western world or whatever. Here, why are the Igbos marginalized? That somebody stood out there to tell you that even if Obichi wants to administer the country as a president, he should wait on to 231 to 235, whatever.
Thank you.
Now, the question is this: if you should believe, in fact, I could conclude that that is what has been inculcated in you as the presenter that has made you to still insist that it is Igbos, in the sense that if one or two people, knowing the hazard that has befallen that very region over time now, and it is this one or two people you so believe are responsible, then take an real. It's not right to be argued or to be even stated. Thank you. I'm calling.
It's all right.
From Ugondo.
Thank you so much from Igondo. Trying to get that, but then it's okay. Kenny Young from Mukoba, I want to appreciate you so very much for your message. And this person is saying, okay, please, President Tinubu should do whatever he wants with Nigeria as a country, but let him release Nnamdi Kanu for us. The nobleman has done nothing wrong. He is our number one citizen in the Igbo land for now. Festus from Alakwere. Federal government under the APC likes the insecurity in the Southeast, and that is why they are keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention. They know that releasing him will end insecurity in the Southeast. Festus still added, okay, tell those, what are you trying to say? Okay, let me read this one now. It said, Judah, you are, what now? Mazi will remain there until... Well, Dave, I don't understand what you're saying. It's okay. Let's just remain home, okay? Let's just remain with what we're discussing. Let's not just go outside these issues. Thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, this is Oshodi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. This is Oshodi George calling from Accra, Ghana.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Okoro, for your, at least for even updating me on more things I need to know about Nnamdi Kanu, because I'm not an Igbo man. But all I want to say, did you know that the private jet that they used to bring Nnamdi Kanu into Nigeria was from woyoruba?
Can you prove that?
Former Ebonyi governor. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know that former Ebonyi governor, the minister now, all of them were against Nnamdi Kanu, even the present Anambra governor, the Imo governor. So there are many people there that does not want that man to come out. Many. They know if they come out, because once that man say a word, he has many followers. If he will say don't vote for this man, they will not vote for that person. So these are just the reasons, these are the fears. And they believe that once he come out, person like P2B will have more momentum.
Thank you.
And you know, okay, but let me stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you from Accra, Ghana. Thank you. All right, good afternoon today, and your guest in the studio is unfortunate to see NK still being held till now. I'm not surprised that the presiding judge stepped down on the case as well, but mark my word. Let me mark your word first now. Calm down. Oh, why you don't cover what they read? Huh? Hold on. Please hold on, okay? Okay, what we say now? Oh, wait. Wait. Just wait, please. These messages, then I take your calls, okay? He said, okay, mark my word, with the Tinubu that I know, he will surely release NK, but he will be a bargaining chip with the Southeast. Chikuma, did you hear that? And that will happen at the countdown to 2027 election. He will release Nnamdi Kanu, all right? But then, it's going to be treated by butter. Give me vote. I give you Nnamdi Kanu.
I don't believe that.
That's what this person is saying.
I don't believe that.
I've actually heard this from several persons, though.
Why would you believe such a thing? What votes did he get in the Southeast?
So what vote for me? I will release him.
Quid pro quo.
So no vote.
It's called quid pro quo. Give me this, I'll give you this. In 2023, what did he give us, and what did we give him? That's it.
All right. Now, he's saying, point of correction, Igboho wasn't released by any Nigerian government. He was never apprehended or prosecuted by either Buhari or Tinubu. He was arrested by the Beninoa authority, and prominent Yoruba men here in Nigeria and indigenous Yorubas in Benin stood with him in his trials and until his release. Let's always set the record straight. Thank you, Sahid Barua.
That's not correct. He was held in detention here. Igboho was held in detention here. Yes, I understand that he had issues in Benin Republic, but when he came back, he was arrested and later released. Let the guy go and do his research very well.
No. Let's understand what you're trying to say. Where was he held?
Igboho was held in Benin Republic.
Okay.
And he came back, and he was arrested here and later released.
Okay.
That's
I
my
thought you
point.
said it was held. It was held here.
No. Initially, he was. Do you remember when DSS went to his home?
Of course, I
Do you
remember.
when DSS went to, and after that, he ran away. It was on that he was on a journey to US or where, when he was apprehended in. I think he was going to France. He was heading to France when he was arrested in Benin Republic, and that France trip was cut short. He was later, at a point, the Yoruba people intervened, and when he came back, he was arrested and later released. You need to
also to tell the Nigerian president, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to try and free Nnamdi Kanu, because holding him there is not going to do him any good. Rather, it will cause more confusion in the country. You should try and release him. Let him go. He have no offense, no committed any offense that other people have not committed. Even the people in Nigeria there who are the terrorists, they are killing people. They have not finished dealing with them. He's somebody that is not carrying any arms. Ladan is speaking with his mouth, saying that they should free his people to go. They are keeping him there now for 4 years, which is not necessary.
All right.
So they should allow him to go.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the call. Now, let me get back to some messages again quickly. Some Northerners don't want Kanu to be released. Also, some... okay, let me take a call, but just hold on. Okay. Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning from here.
What's your name?
This is Tony, Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Good to have you join us.
Yeah. Thank you for the wonderful program.
Please note, views and opinions expressed in the course of this program do not represent that of WOTV. Therefore, this channel is not liable to any legal action that may result from this program.